Hey everyone, I'm Ross Chastain, and welcome to episode 12 of Asphalt, presented by LEVRACK and powered by AgAmerica Media. Remember that full episodes can be found on the Like a Farmer YouTube page and under the Like a Farmer podcast, wherever you listen to your audio podcasts. Today, we're going to recap the Chicago Street Race, as well as look back at the Sonoma weekend. Then I'll take you down to the University of Georgia Extension Office, and Dr. Lisa Baxter is going to teach us all things crop and soil science. I'll answer some of your Ask Ross Anything questions, and then we'll wrap today's episode with a preview of this weekend's race at Dover. So let's jump into the Smashdown presented by LEVRACK. We're here in the studio at the farm, back from Sonoma with producer Ben behind the camera. Hey, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good to be back from Sonoma.
It is. That was a long journey, more than it should have been.
Hopefully the show doesn't take that long.
Yeah, hopefully not.
But man, coming off Sonoma, Chicago before that was 2 races ago now for us. Another win by Trackhouse for SVG and that 88 team. Awesome to see that. The execution that Shane continues to show, his pit crew, road crew, building the cars that he needs to go win is absolutely incredible. And they're building the other cars similar. So it's up to Daniel and I know for myself to keep up with him. Definitely did not qualify the way I wanted to at Chicago. I just couldn't make a lot of speed, and laps didn't feel terrible, but they just weren't very fast. But we got a 10th out of it, so that was good. Elephant in the room. We did have the 22 incident where it turns out the 47 hit the 22 who hit me, and then in the next corner, I end up hitting the 22 who hit the 47. So there was also contact from the 2 who had gotten hit by the 47 out of the final turn, coming to the restart. Like when I really broke it down, it was crazy. The amount of contact that happened out of the final turn and then into turn 1, the 2 and the 60 inside of the 5. There was, honestly, it was a bit, I finally just had to shut all the videos off and okay, a lot of people ran into a lot of people and I was right in the middle of it. So, it was good to make it through that. I bounced out of the tires in a very unique way where I thought I wasn't going to, and the car was fine. So, happy to make it out of there with all that, with a 10th. That's something to duck my head and get the heck out of Chicago.
I was at that corner on the restart too. You flew right into me. So I have some photos of you look like you got spun out by Priest, but I'm kind of looking for it. I just see you go straight into me and I had to jump a little bit. So thanks.
You jumped?
Yeah, a little bit.
Trust the wall, man.
I mean, it's the dust, it's everything. You don't know what's going to come through there. So yeah.
But there was a Bapple car coming your way.
Yeah, I just saw a blur of red coming my way, and boom. And then he kept going though, so that was productive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shane doubled up on the weekend. That was cool to see him win in that 9 car at Connor's detriment though. So Shane went and took the win. I think it was good. He went and did what he needed to do to win himself, and Connor lost. So we'll get back into that when we jump to Sonoma, because it was definitely, I think that played a role when they got to the next week. But for us, great experience in Chicago. I went for a jog, dinner with my guys, of course, deep dish, not something I'd want to have every night, but got to have it when you're in town. So really cool. Sparco gives us these electric scooters, so I scootered all over town. I don't know if you ever see those.
I saw a couple this past weekend, and I was wondering if you guys were buying them or they were just handing them out. But that was fun.
I think we bought enough fireproof suits and underwear that
you should
Miss Connie was
scooter out of it.
Miss Connie was nice to us, so they're awesome. And we use them every now and then, and the crew guys use them around the garage and stuff. We push them through the garage and then ride them outside. So it's definitely. We're thankful for them. So it was nice to get all over the town with that. I ended up jumping in behind a Uber Eats bicycle guy, and I just went wherever he went.
Nice.
Because you're not supposed to ride that stuff on the sidewalk.
Right. Yeah.
And
then they have the green bike lane, which I don't know if we're even technically supposed to ride in those. Because I took one that weekend too, and I was just kind of just moving back and forth through the lanes. So
I had a great experience. Traffic. Yeah. Everybody was very kind to me. I didn't get honked at, and felt safe doing it. So
cool. Those things zoom too. They're quick.
Yeah,
they're nice.
Jumping ahead to Sonoma, I went up on Wednesday and did a day with CMOG. That's the Corning Museum of Glass, which is up near Watkins Glen. Big sponsor on the track. And track president, Miss Dawn up there, showed me all things how to blow glass. And I made a watermelon bowl complete with a bite out of the top because I did kind of mess it up right at the end of the process. But it was really cool. it's an old art form, and they're keeping it alive there, and really neat. It was cool to do. Hot. I mean, molten glass. It's as hot as it could possibly be. I don't think it gets any hotter. It's liquid. So that was cool. And then from Wednesday night to Thursday night, I attempted to fly to San Francisco. 3 airlines, 3 different airports. Finally made it. A day of trying to travel, I guess I should say. Just one flight canceled, then too early in the morning to get an Uber. There was no taxis or Uber or Lyft or anything to get me over to the airport, so missed that flight, and then had to go back to Syracuse after trying Ithaca and Elmira on my way out. So definitely it's one of those things. You just can't be in a hurry, and I think with commercial travel, for our competition's sake, like I would never fly in commercially day of. Just can't. I can't afford the risk. I at least got to give myself a night to try to get there.
Yeah.
The team planes, we fly in like the minute of when the garage opens, which sometimes is a little scary, and they've had to adjust practice times when a large group is going to miss garage open time. But they're not waiting for us if we're flying commercial. So you had issues coming back?
Yeah, I had probably a 2-hour delay getting there. Supposed to get there around midnight, and then I ended up getting there like probably 1:15-ish, because then I got to the rental car place like 3 minutes before they closed. Otherwise, I would have been stuck at the Sacramento airport. So
okay,
yeah, not as jumping around as you, but and then issues coming back, but same type of deal. Yeah. Another 2 hours getting home late, but that's okay. We're here now.
Coming back, we landed at about 3:15 back into Statesville, and we stopped and got fuel in Colorado, and the FBO we stopped in, I don't know, I've never seen one like it. It was like a vintage Cracker Barrel, but it was an FBO.
Oh, nice.
And they had all this crazy stuff, like a gift shop, basically. Yeah. It was like kind of going back in time.
I heard that from a few people. I wonder if that's like a new stop for them. I mean, we're not going up to Cali as much as we used to, but it's always nice when the FBOs on the stops have snacks and stuff.
I'm guessing it will depend on the price of a gallon of jet fuel.
Yes.
That kind of dictates where we stop.
Right.
But man, Sonoma, I called the Xfinity race. So I got to watch that awesome battle between the 9 and 88, which is something that PRN scolded me for. I'm not allowed to say car numbers. You have to say their names. So I had to say Shane or Connor or their entire name. So it was basically Connor Zilich and SVG is what I kept referring to them as. You can see a lot of the track from the front stretch. I had no idea you could, when you get up that high, you could see turn 7 and all the way down to entry of 11. So that was neat, but great race for the Xfinity race. It was
awesome. Yeah, it was really cool to see. And I mean, it's funny, we were talking in our group chat of like, they're duking it out, but they're like 10 seconds ahead of everybody, and they're like not losing time really. So it's cool to see 2 guys go out, especially Connor taking it to SVG, because like nobody's really done that yet. Yeah. There's only been a couple times he's been beat when he's had a shot to win at the end. So 2 really equally matched cars. Shane qualifying on the pole gets me the number 1 pit stall selection for Dover next week. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I swear that Shane wasn't even done with his lap yet, and Corey Shea, the crew chief on the 9, texts me, got your pit stall for next week. I was like, I didn't even think he was done yet, but I was behind.
That's awesome.
So that was really neat. Thinking about that, the way the Xfinity rules work, but just a great race to call. And Alex LeBay, I want to talk about him. He was having a great run in Bobby Daughter's 07 car and broke. Jesse Love was out early, and it was really cool race, good race. So
yeah, for sure.
Did you get up to the campsite in turn 1?
I did. I went up there a couple times. Yeah.
So had you'd known the Van Gronigans?
Yeah. I went there last year.
Yeah. So the Van Gronigans are California farmers. They grow several things, but watermelons is a big part of their farming operation. So I've heard of their names my entire life. My uncle had told me about these Van Gronigans, these California guys. They're really big out on the West Coast, but I never met them until I was racing. And then they came to the track, and we set it up to meet. And one, they're good to have at the car post-race because they're large fellas and big family, and they all farm together, a lot of them. So definitely been great to get to know them over the years. And their Yosemite Fresh brand of watermelons, that's the watermelon we had in the trailer if we were able to beat SVG somehow on Sunday, was a Yosemite Fresh watermelon. So that was really cool. They had a couple campers up in turn 1. Some stayed there, some went to hotels, and I think they had a really, really good time. They like Busch Light. Did you get any of their juice?
Oh, I had like 3 of them. I was just going to mention that because I remember that from last year. They had like the mint and the blood orange, and this year they just had the blood orange, but it is so good.
Yeah. So it's a watermelon juice. They're cold pressing watermelons, and they just have their label. They just have it for really, I don't know if they're selling it, but their dad, which would be 2 generations above Jacob, who's my age and my generation, when he retired from the farm, he wanted to cold press watermelons, and so they've got the blood orange. Like Ben said, it's good. So I had quite a few. I think it's time to jump into,
I guess, the cup race a little bit.
Same story as the last 4 Xfinity and Cup races combined. SVG he just dominates. He's able to make speed on Saturday, and he only had the pole over Briscoe by like 100th or something.
Yeah, it was close.
The first time he went out, and then we all cool our cars down, our tires, like everything. And then we go back out, and the only person I think that went faster was Shane. He even went even faster. So, just an incredible talent. We were able to qualify 4th, which was really good for me, but fell back to 6th early. And when we were falling back, we made the call to take the stage win, knowing we thought the top 5 would pit. So we grabbed 10 points and a playoff point. And I had a really good stage 2 and got back to what would be 12th. So we shorted the second stage. Some guys made it back up. I think the 22 made it to 9th, and I didn't. And some guys that stayed up, and some got spun out and wrecked. So I just wish I'd have given us a shot to restart the top 10 with 11 laps to go. Speaking of torn up, I do have to talk about spinning my teammate. It's bad. It's really bad. I already apologized to him, and I am sorry to the 99 group. I just got in too hot to 11, 22, 99, one car, all going into 11, and just pushed the 99 into the 22. The last other guy that I wanted to hit after Chicago, wanted all that to settle down and end up spinning the 99. So that definitely hurt their day. They end up beating us with all the craziness at the end, but still kind of a non-negotiable to be running into teammates. So been an unpleasant Monday, and something I just get to work through. I get to deal with it. I am responsible for my actions. So now I get to live with that, and we move on. And Daniel and I had a good conversation, but ultimately doesn't take back the fact that I wrecked him. So was happy he was able to rebound, get back in front of me. It actually felt good that he beat me. I didn't want to be 24th, but I also didn't want to benefit from wrecking him. So those are never easy to talk about. So before I answer some of your Ask Ross Anything questions, and before we jump to Dover coming up this weekend, I did spend some time with the top forage specialist in the state of Georgia, Dr. Lisa Baxter from the UGA Extension Program. Let's check that out.
Hey guys, today we're here, boots on the ground in Tifton, Georgia, with the University of Georgia. Miss Lisa Baxter, gonna learn all things hay today. Thanks for having us.
I'm glad you all could make it. It's a great time to come to Tifton.
This morning is great. We've caught a cool morning.
We have.
This is nice. What brought you here to Tifton, and how long have you been working with the university?
Yeah, so I've been in this role for just over 6 years. I've been here for 8. And when it came time after graduating with my PhD and trying to figure out where I was going to settle down for my career, there is no better ag experiment station in the country. I may be a little biased as also a Bulldog grad, but there's no better place to be. So from where you're standing right here, doesn't look like it just around, but you are within a couple miles of 30 different research crops at any one time. And in the surrounding counties, 30 to 60 production crops. It's an incredibly diverse area.
What made you gravitate to grass, to hay? What led you down this path?
So like every 18-year-old girl going to college, I thought I wanted to be a vet. And I finished my first 4 years, and I could if I ever do decide to go back. But I figured out during those first few years that my skills weren't really in vet medicine. I wanted to be more preventative. I wanted to be more on the system side. And animal nutrition is the heart of all of that. And a lot of animal issues can be prevented with good grass.
Well, what are we going to do today? I see some hay bales. I see some, you know, I look at a hay bale. I don't know one from another. I'm sure that's not the case. What are we going to get into today?
Yeah, so my goal is to show you the start to finish of when I have a producer problem till we give them a solution. So that goes from finding a new grass, testing the grass, scaling it up to hay production and different management practices, and then bringing in that animal side of it. So we're a little bit of everything in a very short period here this morning.
Okay. Well, I get my hands dirty. We get into it?
Absolutely. Let's do this. So this is pretty standard hay coring probe. You have manual ones you can hand crank in. I ain't for that in research. No. So we hook them to a power drill here. This is going to help bore into it, and this is what's called a spiral assist to help kind of alleviate the pressure that you need to put on it going in. Pull it back out. Pop that off. The hay sample in there. So even though it kind of looks kind of dingy on the outside from sun bleaching, the net wrap is really helping protect that forage quality inside till we can get these bales shipped out. We get them moved very quickly. It just depends, but we have taken practices here by controlling vegetation, stacking them correctly, and so on, that they could sit here for, you know, a couple weeks to a couple months and not lose appreciable quality.
What kind of grass are we looking at?
So that is Bermuda grass. Okay. We don't know the specific variety. We're hoping to test that this summer, but it's mixed Bermuda that you see growing all out here. So all of these bales came from these fields out here. The goal with these bales, when I started, this was a less than desirable hay field. It wasn't the pretty green grass you see behind you here. And so when a producer buys a field, they can't go in and just kill out everything and renovate. They got to make money today. Mm-hmm. And so that was my goal over here, was to say, how can we use our extension recommendations to make this better? So mm-hmm. I don't do anything here that a producer can't do. Right. I don't use any equipment they wouldn't use, any chemicals they wouldn't use. It's all producer recommendations.
Tell why you have a Kubota here.
I need big equipment to move big bales at the end of the day. And so when it came time to start stacking, you know, the equipment in my research program, it was a pleasure to start working with our local Kubota dealer here. They have a long history with our campus. Made sense to start working with them. So I've heard, know your way around a tractor. Could use some help moving these bales this morning. But take it easy. I'm very partial to this tractor here. It's the most horsepower of any tractor on the campus to the tiniest researcher, and it's really starting to go to my head.
Have you seen me drive before? Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yeah, it's insured. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they can always send another one. I don't think I scratched it.
So I have a really unique opportunity right here. We are sitting between the main interstate and the main highway in Tift County. And so it's a great marketing opportunity to advertise what we're doing here, keep people tied in with the university, or in this case, your show. So I have saved the bales just for you. I've resisted the urge to put something on there.
Okay.
So if you want to take this opportunity to do the bale billboard here with Ag to Asphalt, love for you to do that.
How do you normally do you don't do a letter per bale?
I do a letter per bale.
Oh my gosh. How do you spell asphalt?
So words suddenly look wrong when they're on this scale.
You're telling me I'm nervous.
Make you second guess spelling.
Well, it makes me question the English language. Got some weeds?
Oh, we have all the weeds in the southeast here, especially down in the deep south.
Do y'all get a hard freeze here enough to reset?
Not always.
Not always. Yeah.
I've been wearing shorts and a tank top on Christmas Day here before. I would rather take my rig to where the weeds are, even if that means I got to drive a little further, sweat a little more. I don't want to contribute any more weeds to the ecosystem.
Yep. It's 2025. Why do we need to learn more about chemicals and weed control?
All right. So there's always a need for diverse active ingredients out there. As new ingredients are being built, they're helping us prevent herbicide resistance and other chemical resistance too. That's just mostly where I work, is on the herbicide side. And keeping herbicides as part of an integrated weed management plan. We have a lot of tools in the toolbox to control weeds, but spraying a strategic herbicide is often the more sustainable option when we look in terms of the carbon footprint and resource utilization than if we had to come mow every other week to keep everything suppressed. Ready to gear up?
Yeah, let's.
All right.
Yeah.
Then you can put on the belly or the chest strap. And you turn it off, and you turn and you go back on the next one.
Oh, I started a little late.
All right, so when we're looking at does a treatment work, whether it's a new grass, a chemical we're spraying, a fertilizer, whatever it may be, ultimately it doesn't matter how much we just think it's pretty. It's got to make an animal gain weight, produce milk, wool, something. And so the old school way to do that was to actually put the sample in the animal and get the sample back out. It's pretty expensive. We've got better ways now. But to calibrate that procedure and to test its accuracy, we do still have live animals that are essentially like a donor animal to get rumen contents from, so we can see how well something is digested. Unfortunately, the cows had a different schedule than what you did, so we pulled this earlier. I hope you don't have a weak stomach.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. I mean, a cow has what is different chambers in their stomach, and they go through what's microbial digestion, whereas we have more of chemical digestion. So this is all different digested material. You can tell there's some stems in there that are a little slower. You got the juices bubbling down in there.
You want me to grab some?
You can grab some.
You're one. I could tell. You're me too.
This is one of my favorite things to show people because, yeah, we've got the grass out here, but if the cow can't break it down, then we did nothing. We just grew grass.
Right.
And the grass has to go somewhere. It's not the end point of our ecosystem. And so our goal is to make grass so good that it spends a little bit of time in there to give the cow and the bugs the nutrition that it needs in its stomach, but then to pass it on because that's where things are absorbed and the animal actually gains and performs. A cow's stomach is actually usually 10 degrees or so above whatever ambient temperature is.
No,
so it was quite toasty yesterday.
I feel like this would be a lot worse to hold if it was hot.
You'll have to ask your colleagues.
Okay, I'll ask.
But yeah, so the rumen has about 55-gallon capacity. And so you go in up to your shoulder to get a really good sample.
Okay. I can't wait to see the footage of that. Thank you, boys. So for all this hard work, Georgia Boot wants to say thank you. So they sent you some options. Do with them what you may. I see you are in tennis shoes, so I'm guessing with that much walking and that much trialing, you're usually moving a lot, but want to throw a set of boots on? Yeah,
we keep the tennis shoes so I can go through 3 pairs in a day because of all the wet grass that I walk through. Also because I am the Lego forage specialist, which you'll get to meet at our next stop. I did have to wear my Lego tennis shoes this morning, so.
Okay, well,
but
now
I will
you got some
add
Georgia
these
boots
to my rotation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing us around today, taking some time, and teaching a little bit. That's it's really cool knowing that there's progress always happening right here in Tifton. So thank you for letting us come by today.
Yeah, glad we were able to showcase it. Answers take a long time, so we're always trying to think what's the next answer for the next problem that we don't even know is here yet.
Yeah. And a little bit about the Legos.
Yeah.
I hear this has spiraled a bit out of control for you.
It has. So I'd like to introduce you to Lego Forage Specialist. South Georgia isn't always conducive to me being on camera. So I have Lego Forage Specialist that helps with our social media and outreach efforts. Really connects ag to a broad generation and different backgrounds, much like what you're doing. But I do it in Lego form. And love my little Kubota tractor baler. It comes to all my little hayfield demos. So I hear you're partial to watermelons. So it only made sense to find a Lego NASCAR driver and add some little watermelon details there.
Well, I hope my car is as fast as a Formula One car the rest of the year. So that'll be cool. So thank you, and see you down the road.
Thank you.
A big thanks to Dr. Lisa Baxter, Georgia Boot, and Kubota. Now it's time to jump in to some Ask Ross Anything questions. Make sure y'all keep submitting your questions that I may or may not answer to the full-length video episodes on YouTube that we're posting every other week, right there in the comment section. This week we've got Dirty Deaf, and the question is, what's the track that you've put the most work on but still haven't had the best runs at yet? Most work, Chicago, probably over the 3 years that we ran there. Just a ton of sim time. Video, just nothing felt natural there, and nothing looked natural about 90-degree turns on surface streets. And so definitely put a lot of time in and got a 10th this time. That was the best I could ever say we did. So Chicago would be the most work for the least amount of reward. Next is Aaron Van 51. The question is, Ross, would you ever come race at Owasso Speedway? I mean, I would, but no plans right now. I got asked this question a long time ago, and it was, what kind of race car driver do you want to be the best at? And I said NASCAR. And so the guy said, well, then go race NASCAR. I was trying to decide a late model race or a truck race at the time. And I've pretty much lived by that mentality ever since. And even if it's fewer races, I just go full NASCAR races anytime, anywhere, any place. And so never say never, but no plans right now. And then Brandon asks, have you ever sneezed while racing? And if so, how do you counter an incoming sneeze? Yes, Brandon, I have. There's really no way to fight it. I'm locked into the car. I can't hold my nose. I can't really do much. So I have sneezed. The best thing I could do is take my generic allergy medicine every morning like I do. But when I forget, I do sneeze. Any day that I forget, I sneeze way more during the day. So I used to laugh at people with allergies, if I'm being honest. My cousin Trey just used to laugh at them. Never thought allergies were real when I was a kid, and now I have them and have to take the little green cap pill. So I've sprayed the inside of the visor before. So I've learned, I guess, to open the visor pre-sneeze. All right, that's it for Ask Ross Anything. Y'all keep throwing those questions in the comment section of our full video episodes on YouTube. Dover's up next. Monster Mile. How many times have you been there, Ben?
I've only been once, and it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
What do you have against Delaware?
Nothing right now.
You don't go over there in the casino with everybody?
I don't. I'm not a big gambler.
I'm not either.
Yeah, I'll play poker with my buddies, but that's about it. No, I mean I like it there. Good coffee is around. That's mainly what I would go for, but that's just me.
What are you going to the Wawa or something?
Like the New England coffee scene is.
Oh my gosh,
very good.
Give me some nitro cold brew. Let's call it a day.
That's true.
But we're finally back on an oval, so that's nice. So everything that SVG has done sim-wise and like prep-wise, I've just studied and just leaned into, and I'd say mixed results on if like Chicago didn't really help me make speed in qualifying, but I think Sonoma did. So it's kind of just have to keep trusting the process and showing up and putting the work in on the DIL, our simulators. Now for Dover, it's opposite. So now he's following me and we're guiding them, the ones guiding the 88 on what to do and driving traits and characteristics and things that I do. He's coming a little bit my way on it. So Dover's a place I've been going to since 2012. And I remember in going into 2019, I was supposed to drive that 42 Xfinity car. So in 18, I already knew it. And I took a picture of the gold trophy. 19 was the 50th anniversary. And I said, I'm going to come back and pick you up next year to the trophy. And I feel like that was part of the jinx, that the reason I've always thought that, like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never taking a picture of a trophy for the next year and thinking I'm going to come back and win it. I'm back in the Xfinity car in the 9 with the Acceptance Insurance Group, Corey Shea in that 9 team. So that's cool. My 4th start this year. Everybody else that's gotten in the car has won. So we want to win. It's the whole reason that I wanted to put that program together. And with Trackhouse and JRM, we were able to this year. And we'll see. Corey has put a lot of work in for me. And like I said, he texted me like right as SVG was completing his lap at Sonoma to say we had number 1 pit stall. So same thing as the other drivers have had. We'll have the number 1 pit crew from the Cup car pitting it, and then Corey's group of the 9 that comes out when that 5th car runs. So looking forward to it. I don't know if people know this, so I'll tell you. The Delmarva Peninsula is what most of America calls it. We call it Mardel. For some reason in the watermelon industry, but that Maryland and Delaware Peninsula across the bay from like DC out there about an hour south of Dover, there's a ton of watermelons out there. Big hub for other family farms that we work with on our side. And there's a whole association of farmers up there in the Mardel Watermelon Association that are actively leading into the Dover week when y'all are seeing this. And while we're racing in Dover, are going to be harvesting some of the first Maryland and Delaware watermelons. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Ag Asphalt, presented by LEVRACK and powered by AgAmerica Media. This was episode 12. Already 12 down. It's crazy. Remember to tune in to Dover this Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern time on TNT. We're on our 3rd broadcast partner already this year, man. Rolling.
Yeah, going through it.
If you're coming to Dover, I'm going to be doing some appearances on Thursday at the Delaware State Fair. That's something that I'm really happy that it lines up with. I used to make a trip to Dover, down there to Harrington, just for the State Fair midweek between other races, and happy to get back Thursday, 5 o'clock with the Delaware Office of Highway Safety. Just going to have some fun. I always go for some fried Oreos when I'm at State Fair.
That sounds disgusting.
Deep fried Oreo, man. You got to try it.
Too much.
No.
Yeah.
So good. And that's the only time, only at the Delaware State Fair do I eat it.
Yeah.
On Friday, I'll be stopping by the Moose Lodge right there in Harrington at 2 o'clock, and then Grotto's Pizza up in Dover right outside of the racetrack at 4 o'clock. That's Friday night. And finally on Sunday, I'll be back at the Merch Holler at 10:20. Always an odd time. We never pick even like 10 o'clock or 10:30. It's always a weird time, but 10:20 a.m., get your armband at the Cruisin' Sports Trailer, and let's sign some merch. Remember to subscribe to Like a Farmer on YouTube, where new episodes drop every Thursday. Leave a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we'll see you in the next episode.